Hi. Thank you for attending today's reading. Let's begin. I'm a grown, aging adult that never learned how to cook and never owned a dining room set. The reason why has been a secret. A dark one. I. Post FACTUM September 22, 20. Wow. I did not expect this to garner so much attention at all. I appreciate the support and kind words. I worked through most of my PTSD via therapy. And I'm loving life. Hence my username. So don't y'all worry about me. I shared this to help others in similar situations. Let's champion and nurture those who experience violence and abuse. There are a lot of nonprofits out there that help individuals suffering these type of experiences. So if you'd like, show your support by sending positive messages like these to them or volunteer at your local organization. For anyone out there coping with abuse, hang in there and never give up on yourself. I wish everyone peace, happiness and love. Thanks again. Not I. My friends and colleagues would always ask me why I don't cook, and I conceived two excuses I would deploy often. I don't have time and my cat sheds all over the kitchen. It's better than telling them the truth and making it awkward. One time, I told someone off for nagging me about not cooking. And boy, was it uncomfortable and awkward for them. I don't like spending time in the kitchen or won't buy dining room furniture because they trigger my PTSD. Before I start, I worked out most of these memories in therapy. But I still relive them from time to time. Last time was yesterday, in April of this year, and before that, in 2017. When I was a little kid, I used to make forts and play under tables a lot and pretend I was in a cave. I was 7 years old and my mom had her friend over. She was fixing food in the kitchen, which is adjacent to the dining table where my dad was talking to my mom's friend. I was playing underneath the table. It was one of those clear glass tables. Anyway, my dad was always busy and never really spent quality time with me. Ever. My mom was, for a lack of a better word, psychotic. She was the opposite of nurturing. She treated me like shit. So, naturally I wanted attention. I don't remember what I was trying to get my dad's attention for. But remember everything that happened after that. I was annoying him so much that he flew off the handle. I wasn't expecting this. But he punched me in the face. It was so hard my face was numb and all I felt was a heavy stream of something warm coming out of my nose. I looked down and it was blood. My mom's friend shrieked and instead of tending to me, was trying to calm her down. My dad was yelling at me not to bother him as blood splattered all over the floor. I remember we had beige and brown tiles. My blood splatter nearly covered a whole square. I ran quickly upstairs as if my life depended on it and locked myself in that room and hid behind the curtains. I remember being in that room for 2 days because it was a Saturday and I could retreat there until I had to go to school. I was there without eating or going to the bathroom. That is a useful and neat survival skill I learned as I grew up. During the first day they both scolded me from outside the door saying it was my fault I scared my mom's friend away. Then, the next day they felt bad and tried to get me to eat and leave the room by bribing me with promises of new toys. But I refused. I spent those 2 days hating life and wondering why they keep doing shit like that to us. I don't remember much after that except that my mom never cleaned up the dried up blood stains underneath the table for weeks and I could see the blood splatter every day from the glass table. To this day, I wonder what ticked my dad off so much that day that he would punch his 7-year-old who was smaller than all the other 7-year-olds and was literally the size of a 5-year-old. My mom was a clinically depressed housewife and spent most of her time in the kitchen cooking. As I grew up, my mom would randomly belittle me in the kitchen when I needed to grab something to eat, and told me things like how I was ugly and that she wished I was never born. My dad has had a history of unprovoked violent outbursts and anger issues all my life. But after that punching incident, I don't remember any other similar events until I was in my teens when he got remarried. On a few occasions, when I tried to cook something and he smelled smoke, he said I would burn the house down or something, so he would throw the food I was cooking at me. Or if he had bad day and it had nothing to do with me, food would be flying my way. This went on until I was able to work and buy food and avoid the kitchen or eating dinner with them. I'd buy non-perishable food and hide it in my room so I wouldn't have to go to the kitchen. Or, I'd eat only one meal a day. I started intermittent fasting without knowing it. At school. Because I was working 3 jobs after school to save up to get emancipated. Working 3 jobs didn't allow for a lot of breaks. From that time until now I never cooked. I developed a complex where I didn't want to. I even have a pet peeve of seeing pieces of food strewn out on the table or on the floor, because it triggers memories of food thrown at me. Now, the only thing that bears semblance to cooking is me using the toaster oven. I'm very grateful to have been able to get out of that situation. I changed a sad story into a better one. Since then, I've eaten at exclusive restaurants and been fed at movie premieres that people would kill to get into. And the irony is that I have been supporting my dad and paying for his food for almost a decade now. Maybe Tyler Perry and I are cosmic twins. I share this story because I'm sure there were a lot of people out there that suffer from PTSD stemming from violence. I can say from experience that things can and will get better. End of story. Next story. Sometimes I want to be a girl strictly due to the clothes. Girl clothes are fire. Hoodies that are only half your body. Short shorts. Rompers. Crop tops. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy being a man and I am sexually attracted to women. But damn, there are no cool clothes are like that for men. End of story. Next story. I cut a hole in my childhood couch to save my hamster and never told my dad. I was about 8 or so sitting on the couch watching TV with my hamster. Stopped paying attention. And before I knew it, he wandered off and had crawled between the cushions into the interior of the couch. I could hear him in there and had to get him out. He was my best bro and wasn't going out like that. I got scared and didn't want to get in trouble. So my childhood head thought the best idea was to cut into the back of the couch right by the frame to get him out. To my surprise, I was able to lure him out through the hole fairly quickly with some crumbled cheese. But was left with a 6-square hole entirely cut into the couch back. Not being a child seamstress with the ability to repair this, my only option was to push the couch back against the wall and deal with it when my dad wanted to rearrange the furniture. Fast forward to a couple years ago. I'm 30 now. My dad is downsizing and selling off furniture no longer needed with all the kids out of the house. The hole was finally found. 20 years later. He is in Texas and I'm in California. So when he told me on the phone, even now in adulthood, when I heard the words I went to donate the couch. And to rearrange a massive hole in the back of my childhood memories and panic came flooding back, and before the adult reason in me thought it through, I muttered oh so weird. Wonder how that happened. Still no one knows that I did this. And I kind of love it. End of story. That is all for today. If you want to support my automated channel, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.